Julian said to me, "How do you understand what this boy says after he transforms?" I said, "A research doctor taught me. Of course, he suddenly disappeared and I never saw him again." My follow-up was also fruitless, until one day I received a letter saying I should not continue, and otherwise, I might lose both my job and my life. I was also not tied down anywhere and forgot about him. Kate joined us and said with a smile, "I came from a time, he talks like this to Kayuk and those 2 wolves that I killed by mistake that night. I still haven't gotten used to it." Julian turned his gaze to John and Miriam. He continued, "By the way, how is that wolf? I hope he's okay. I'll apologize to her this time when I see her. We have to give them and Kayuk a police cover so that these deadly mistakes don't happen again." I laughed and went to the kitchen to make coffee and Nescafe. Kate also came to the kitchen to bring David breakfast. I said, "Here you experience things that other people do, like feeding a prisoner." Kate, "Yes. I have never brought food to a prisoner myself. That idea is exactly what I had in mind. A police cover for the wolves who work for us." Gave the phone number, his parents. "I will get it from him." I said, "From now on, we will meet prisoners like this more. We must make a file for them, with photos of them in both human and wolf forms. We must file their werewolf characteristics confidentially. Without any trace, even if an inspector from the center came, he would not be able to find out the second identity of the prisoner." Kate, "I agree. I'll give him his breakfast." I also took the tray of coffee and Nescafe to the table where Julian, Miriam and John were sitting. I said to Miriam, "It was a very interesting method. With this you can understand the type of transformation they had." "Miriam, please." I continued, "Of course, Julian also showed behavior that I had not seen, like the slap she gave me. She forced the boy to cooperate." Julian, "James, I don't want to talk about it." I said, "But you did a great job." Kate called David's parents and informed them that their son was at the police station. Miriam, "That boy and his family, and many others, came here because of the rumors, and when they found out it was true, they stayed here forever. The rumors took their toll. When did this start?" I looked at Julian and said, "I think it was 20 years ago. A writer named Edward Thompson wrote a story and chose Selleck as the setting for his story. Both because of the nature here and because the wolf population here is much larger than other animals. The story was about a person who turns into a wolf after being bitten. His family and wife suspect him. His wife finds out his secret. This is a story so far, but what made Selleck change is that the events of the story happened in reality with a slight difference. I was 17 years old. A woman came to the police station and asked me for help to find her husband. I, along with Julian and a group of people, searched everywhere to find her husband. But there was no sign of him. I asked the woman, for her own safety and that of her children, to leave the city and go to the big cities, and if she encountered her husband there, to call me so I could talk to the police there, because no one would believe her and she might end up in a mental institution and her children in welfare. That's how Selleck became the city it is now." Julian, "That's when I became James's deputy, sort of, and learned how to shoot." Kate, "You two are a successful couple, a brother and sister protecting the police station and a city." After a while, a man and a woman came into the office. The man said, "We're David's parents. Can we see him? What do we have to do to get him released?" I said, "It's nice to see you. Your son will be released. But he'll be kept under observation. There's no evidence against David. His case will be completed. With a commitment that you and he make, you can take him with you." Kate, "Will you guide them?" Kate, "This way." They headed towards David's cell.